New Japan Pro Wrestling and Stardom recently announced the IWGP Women's Championship, and it's a huge step forward for the promotions to expand. In a recent interview with Tokyo Sports, Rossi stated that the championship will be managed by Stardom and that the title will be defended not only in Japan at Stardom and New Japan Pro Wrestling events, but potential overseas as well. The first champion will be crowned at the Stardom New Japan crossover show November 20th. And looking at the roster, there are many contenders to become the inaugural champion. There are a few names that are on the roster that would be a great pick to hold the title, and these aren't in any specific order, and this is just my own personal opinion. If you have any other contenders or possible people that could hold this belt, let me know in the comments down below. Without further ado, let's get this started. First one on the list is Mayu Iwatani. She is the icon of Stardom for a reason. Ever since Io Shirai and Kairi left Stardom back in 2017 and 2018 respectively, Mayu had some big shoes to fill in. Mayu has won every single major title in Stardom and even won the Ring of Honor Women of Honor Championship when she was out here in the United States. Out of the entire roster, Mayu has the most international experience and currently holds the SWA World Championship, which originally is meant for defending against people internationally so they could bring the belts overseas and give it its recognition. She has had countless classics with the likes of Io Shirai, Kairi, Kagetsu, Utami, and Syuri, just to name a few. If anything, Mayu working overseas would be the first time since her excursion to Ring of Honor, and there would be many dream matches that could happen in the US if she were to hold the belt. And next up on my list is Utami Hayashi Shida. Utami has been one of the fastest and best rising stars of Stardom in current times, and every match she's had has always felt like a big match and makes us care about it. Utami's reign as World of Stardom champion has been a memorable one, with many title defenses against some of the top stars of the company, such as her classic trilogy with Syuri, feud with Mayu Iwatani, and Tom Nakano, just to name a few. It does seem that she could be teasing a potential match here in the US against AEW's Abaddon through a tweet from her, but it's just all rumors and speculations. If she were to hold the belt, Utami definitely has a star power and is more than capable enough to compete overseas with how they've booked her throughout her career in Stardom, and if anything, she would be going nowhere but up. Next up on my list is Syuri. The current World of Stardom champion, Syuri definitely is, if not the toughest and hardest hitter on the roster. Not only that, but she did have work in the US when she was in the UFC, but then eventually committing to professional wrestling full-time. She definitely has the credibility and the looks, and with how her current title reign is going, her with the IWGP Women's title can be a great first champion, and she could definitely hold her own against some of the best out there, not only in Japan, but the rest of the world. Next up on the list is Giulia. Giulia flies low under the radar compared to the three I mentioned before, but Giulia has been putting out nothing but consistent match of the year contenders against some of the top stars, especially her matches against Mayu and Syuri from this year being, if anything, match of the year contenders to me. She's always put on killer performances and could definitely have a major title run. If anything, her feud with Tom Nakano with the Wonder of Stardom Championship back in 2021 was brilliant, and it showed she could definitely contend and or defend championships. And last on my list, because it is a top 5, is Azumi. Azumi is a prodigy in Stardom with what she's capable of in the ring. Despite being one of the younger members of the roster, she actually has some of the most experience under her belt. She's been on the tear lately with the High Speed Championship lately, especially her matches against Starlight Kid, and those feel like it could be a match of the year in my humble opinion. And I feel like she's on a league of her own. Azumi would be put on the map if she were to hold the IWGP Women's Championship and were to defend it either in Japan against other people from other promotions, top contenders from Stardom, or even some of the best overseas. And I know what she's capable of, what Stardom has brought out with her, and it would definitely put Stardom as a bigger blip on the map for professional wrestling today. There's a list. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. It is a quick one, but that's just my personal thoughts on the IWGP Women's Belt and what potential it could be if some members were to hold the title come November. So without any further ado, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.